Hello everybody, what is up? Prof here. As you can see today, we're going to be doing an unboxing, building, and review of the Figurized Standard Kamen Rider Kuuga Ultimate form. So this is definitely a pretty cool season. It's probably definitely in my top 5 of the Heisei Kamen Riders. But yeah, so as we usually do, we're going to go ahead and take a look around the box, unbox it, build the whole kit, do some cool pictures, and after that, let you guys know what my final thoughts are on the build, how it looks, and how easy it was between stickers and pen lining. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get to it.
throw your cranes up.
Alright, so here we are with the finished kit right here, and as you can see, he definitely came out really well. Like I said, this is definitely a really standout kit, I gotta say, and honestly, pretty simple build. There's not a lot of stickers. Like I said, the only stickers were essentially the silver on the belt, the little dots on like the wrists and everything, and so was it, of course, the eyes. But other than that, very small sticker sheet. So like I said, if you're someone who's not good at stickers, it's definitely a great kit. And like I said, a lot of the detail really pops with the gold underplating, and then they had you basically put the black pieces on top of the gold, so it stands out really well. And like I said, for a simple build, this kit comes out really good, and all I did is just put a little bit of a top coat on there. So yeah, like I said, my positives were honestly super good kit. Definitely a highly recommend kit if you were into Kamen Rider, or of course if you like Kuuga, you probably already want this kit. But like I said, honestly, then yeah, the other parts were cutting off the nubs were really smooth. Like I said, this one didn't really have a lot of sanding to do. The only negative aspects I could say about this kit is the fact that with the gold paint being how shiny it is, when you do cut some of the nubs it does kind of leave marks. So if you are experienced with paint markers, you might want to do a little bit of touch-ups when you are doing cutting. So other than that, the only other negatives I can say is if you are someone who panel lines, doing like the legs, like how I did it right there, and of course the hand cuffs right there, is going to be a little bit of a pain, especially with the regular fine tip Gundam marker, because this gold plastic doesn't really take kindly to the Gundam marker. It's kind of really hard to actually get a good clean line on it. I actually happened to, towards the end, I got a set of Gundam paint markers, and it came with like a thicker black one, which actually did work a lot better on this. And another thing to know too is with the Gundam markers, I mean the fine tip Gundam marker for panel lining, is the gold is really unforgiving for mistakes, so the only way to wipe it off is basically rubbing alcohol. But if you use too much rubbing alcohol, this is the type that will kind of rub off and then you'll see silver underneath. So something to watch out for. But other than that, super cool kit. Like I said, it comes with a cool little flame effect. So we get this cool little foot piece right here. And of course, we get our usual assortment of just like hands right there. So definitely pretty cool. One part that was a little confusing with this kit is we had a decent amount of extra runners. And like I said, it's not like they're full sheets, it's just like partial sheets. Like this one had, like I said, the gold color right here, some extra of the horns. But then we had like parts for like his mouth, some legs, his midsection. Of course, the black eyes was just for part of the normal effects. But yeah, it came with all these extra ones, but then the instructions didn't really say exactly what any of that was for. So yeah, it was a little confusing. If any of you guys have built this kit or know what these extra parts are for, please let me know, because I feel like it's maybe for the other black Kuuga kit that they had, because they had one that's like a step below what his ultimate form was. So like I said, maybe it's for that, I have no idea, but it was just very interesting that it came with all these extra runners. But other than that, yeah, like I said, it's super well detailed kit just all around. Like I said, it has these new type of stands that they've been including in the newer Figure Eye standard kits. But yeah, like I said, this is definitely a super cool kit that just like the black and gold really pops off. And like I said, if you're able to do some decent panel lining, you can get some nice looking detail just out of the kneecaps and the ankle cuffs and everything, and even the hand ones, because like I said, these were ones that were just pure gold before and didn't have any details. So like I said, yeah, you just got to be careful with the Gundam marker, and if you try to remove anything of rubbing alcohol, overall be very light with it because it can remove some of the gold finish. But all in all, like I said, definitely a highly recommended kit. I think it's about $40 to $50, but like I said, as you can see, it came out really cool looking. Alright folks, that's about it for this video. Like I said, definitely a super cool kit. I highly recommend because like I said, this is just such a cool detailed kit and there's barely any stickers and honestly, pretty clean build. Like I said, the panel lining parts that I did were completely optional. It just adds a little bit of a cool effect to the feet and the wrist cuffs and everything, but all in all, super cool kit. And like I said, if you guys know what those spare liners are for, let me know in the comment section below because like I said, I looked back and forth with all the instructions, all the pictures that it came with, and none of it really showed what those spare parts are for, but I have a feeling it's for either, it might be for one of the previous kits, I have no idea, or if maybe it's something that you can add to this kit to add some extra effects, who knows. But like I said, if anybody has an idea, let me know in the comment section below. But as always, if you guys are new here, consider subscribing to the channel, and if you did like this video, leave a thumbs up because yeah, we do a lot of Gundam building, figure eight standard, we do gaming, do anime figure unboxing, so if those are any things that interest you, subscribe to the channel. But as always, I thank you guys for watching and I'll catch you guys later.